I want to talk today about something that genuinely changed the way that I think about my clutter. And actually, it came from one of you guys. And it's something called the pan theory. The second I saw the comment, I said, hey, what is this secret pan theory that I know nothing about? And I started doing a ton of research into it. And it's something that I've been doing for years. And so today we're going to dive into why you too should be doing the pan theory. It challenges me to think about why I have an item and why I haven't used that item yet. Why am I not using it? Maybe it's in the wrong place. Maybe it was a mistake I made and I've been hanging on to it. Or maybe it was one of those excitement pieces that I brought into my house and yet that excitement has died. Why is it being unused? The pan theory all started with women just like us with drawers full of makeup supplies, and yet we were never using them. And so our drawers were constantly full. We never found the right product that we wanted. We were always looking for more. The pan theory allowed these women to think about, hey, how about before I buy something new and add to the chaos that I have created, how about I challenge myself to use up these products before I buy anything else new? And believe me, though I didn't know anything about this theory until very recently, it is something that I have done for years now, and it has made all of the difference in the world when it comes to my house. The pan theory changes our perspective of decluttering from should I keep this item to can I use this item up before I get it out of my house. We're gonna start in the kitchen today, and I challenge you to empty out your pantry. But if that's too much, let's just empty out one drawer or one basket, all where your comfort level is today. But we're gonna use the pan theory in order to decide what needs to stay, what can go, and where those things need to be placed in order for us to best be able to see them and use them. The pan theory is a huge win for many of us that have decision fatigue when we're decluttering, because it takes away the idea that you have to get rid of things, that you have to make a yes or no answer right this minute. Really, you just need to decide, is it something that you're going to use up? And if yes, then where can I put this item in order to make that a reality, which is often the hardest thing for me and my brain. And the pan theory is great for things in our pantry, because when we buy food, a lot of us have cravings or we have good intentions. And yet the pan theory shows us, what are we really using up? What is making its way back out of our house? And what are those things that keep staying day after day and we're never reaching for them? If you want to change the habit of buying food that you're not going to eat, then the pan theory is really going to help you, because it's going to help you to identify, is it something you're going to use up? If it's not, if it's like the old cereal that I just noticed still in my pantry that I've had for a couple months now, I can taste it. Hey, does it still taste good? If not, then you can do a few things. For me, I just make a mental note. Hey, I like Raisin Bran, but I'm not going to finish the whole bag. So do I need to be bringing it into my house? No. I don't need to be bringing this cereal into my house in my future. But things like my husband's breakfast shakes and peanuts and trail mix, things like that, yes, we will finish those up. Do you know why they sit in my pantry for so long though? It's because they don't have a place that's easy for me to see and grab. I've been keeping them further back in a basket where it wasn't giving me that visual trigger to eat those things. That's what I'm noticing and what the pan theory is helping me to identify. The only way I've ever gotten better at buying food that we actually eat is that when I do these declutters of my pantry, I make those mental notes or physical notes about what I am not eating, what my family is not eating, because all of our tastes and desires for food changes over time. But in using the pan theory, if I cannot answer, can I use this up with a positive yes, it might just be in the wrong home, then I know it's something that I need to add to that list of things that I no longer am going to bring into my house. A little secret for my friends that are struggling with our pantry food and we feel like we're constantly having to throw things away that have gone bad is that you might be overcomplicating your organization in your pantry. I keep it extremely simple. So for a lot of things, I will take them out of the box just because the box does take up a lot of space, but I don't decant everything into its own container. I keep it very simple, only a few baskets. And in those baskets, I have identified exactly what goes in that space. And those baskets are easily labeled so that my brain is visually triggered in where I'm going to find the food when I'm having the craving. Thank you, Hers, for partnering with me today. This is for the girls dealing with hair shedding. After having my daughter, the shedding was real. I remember looking at my hairbrush, the shower drain, and even my clothes, wondering where all this hair was coming from. If you've experienced postpartum hair loss or thinning hair, you know how frustrating and emotional that can really feel. What I love about Hers is that they make getting help fast and so much easier. Let's be honest, many of us put off doctor's appointments because we don't want to sit in the waiting room, rearrange all of our schedules, or have those uncomfortable conversations, especially face to face. Hers offers personalized hair care plans tailored for your needs, and the entire process happens online. They offer doctor trusted ingredients and a variety of options, including gummies, pills, chews, serums, so you can find the solution that's going to work for you and your lifestyle. The process is simple, convenient, accessible, you name it, they've thought about it. It's affordable and it's designed to fit your real life. Plus, there's no insurance required. If you're ready to learn more, visit forhers.com. When I first started decluttering 6 years ago, I was the queen of indecision. And that's where the pan theory helped me out, even though I had no idea what it was called. Using the pan theory with things like agendas or notebooks, pens, markers, can make a huge difference in how your home feels and flows, because it takes away the thought of, I have to go through absolutely all of these things and declutter them right now. And it leaves some space to decide, am I going to use this up? Can I use this up? Something I would suggest is to give yourself a time limit to use it. When I started doing this with my office supplies like notebooks and pens and markers, I would give myself a month to see if I started using that product or item. And if I didn't reach for it in a month, then I would assess, is it something that I'm going to in the future be able to use up? Say it's a set of pencils and you bought the big pack of 30 pencils. Are you going to be able to use that up? Are pencils something in your life that you use all the time? I do. I use them all of the time, and so does my daughter. So pencils will get used up in my house. But you know what I noticed doesn't get used up in my house? Highlighters. Highlighters do not get used up in my house. So do I need 10 highlighters? Abso-freaking-lutely not. I need maybe one, and let the rest of those go to somebody else in need. But that's only because I realized using the pan theory that even the smallest thing like a highlighter takes up my headspace, takes up my capacity to clean my house, and makes my life a little bit harder. Even though it's something small, it's still something that I have to think about and take care of. Even on the most minute things today, if you're going through paper, your office supplies, think about, am I going to use this up? And then give yourself a time frame for using it up. If you haven't touched it within that month or two, then you know that not only are you able to get rid of this and it can go back out of your house, but you've learned the lesson that you no longer have to buy that item again, especially in bulk, because it's not going to be used in a timely manner. I can firmly say that I am a recovering notebook and cute pen collector. And I will say that using the pan theory opened my eyes to what I bought and brought in because I thought it was cute, and what I bought and brought in and was useful. And so, no, I'm not saying that everything that you are going to have in your house is going to be only useful. Some of the things that we bring in our house are cutesy, but thinking of the pan theory allowed me to think outside the box, I guess, that is it something that I'm really gonna use up? I'm gonna be able to use this item over and over again until it is gone because I put thought and effort into buying this object with the idea of usefulness in mind. Does that make any sense, guys? And real quick, if you are enjoying this, then come join us here. We're a lot of fun. And of course, throw a heart emoji down below if you're decluttering and using the pan theory along with us, because we all like to know that we're not alone. So this bag is obviously my daughter's. And so yeah, she is a drawing creative queen and she's gonna have a lot more. But the teacher in me can't help it, and I'm gonna go through and make sure that everything works before putting it back in the bag. Have we used up the marker or the pen so it's time to let it go? Or if not, is it something that I'm going to use, or should I say, is my daughter going to use? And if it is still useful, we're going to keep it. And so we don't have to buy any more until we're out of markers, which in our case is usually about every 2 to 3 months. We've used up most of the markers because they're one of her faves. We're looking pretty good so far, actually. So I think because we just had some holiday stuff not too long ago, that these, for the most part, are still pretty good. The crayons are working. Some of the markers, like this one, these are awesome. They're double-sided. I think we just got them from TJ Maxx or something for Christmas, but they're dying. So I know this one can definitely go. For any of my friends out there that have kids that are really hard on their crayons, I've loved these twistables. Her third grade teacher requested only to get the twistables because the kids can push down a lot harder on the outside and the crayons aren't going to break, or at least less likely to break, right? And these are all doing really well. This is also a great time as you are going through stuff and making those decisions of how useful is this item, that if you have things like color pencils that you are going to use them, sharpen them right now. And so you're more likely to use that item if it is in a useful state when you get to it. If I have an item and it is not ready to be used, it's still in the packaging or has to be sharpened, I'm not going to use it, and neither will my daughter. I want to make sure all the color pencils and regular pencils that are going back in her creative coloring bag are ready to go so that she's continuing to find the use in them. All right, so the most part, we have still a good handful of crayons and markers, which is awesome. This is a perfect time as well to remind yourself how much you have and that I don't need to buy more. Even if I see a great deal on markers for my daughter, she doesn't need any more. She has a very healthy amount of markers that can definitely suit her needs for right now. And luckily, I found a good handful that are broken, not useful anymore, and these ones have hit the pan button. They are no longer useful for us. We are not going to be able to continue to keep them, so they get to go. Ta-da! Are you finding this project pan idea helpful? It's just a different way of looking at what you may already be doing, and instead of questioning why am I keeping something, think, how is this useful for me? Can I use this up if at all possible? And if it can be useful for me, where should I put it so that I remember that I have it and to use it? So as hopefully you're continuing on with me doing this pan theory around our house, let's go find our cleaning supplies. I want you to find all of them. So wherever you're keeping them, the majority of ours are going to be underneath the sink in the kitchen. And the other little bits of cleaning supplies are going to be in my bathroom. If it's too overwhelming to have to gather all of them up, I completely understand. Start with your cleaning supplies in one room and we'll work up from there. But for me, I'm going to gather them all together, put them on this dining room table behind me, and we're going to start questioning what is the usefulness of this item and where should it go in order for me to remember that I have it. I'm honestly really proud of the amount of cleaning supplies I have. I know it still probably looks like a lot, but for years of decluttering and figuring out what I really enjoy and then getting rid of the excess, this is pretty good for me. But as we're looking through the things that we have, it's almost gone. Can you hear that? It's got barely anything in it. And we have probably had this for about 2 years. And it works. It works to get the stink out of when my older dog, bless his little heart, will go to the bathroom in the house. But do I need another one right now? Absolutely not. Using the pan theory allows me to know that this is a product I will be buying again, but it also stops me from buying a ton of extra inventory when I don't need it right now. I'll also say that as you're using the pan theory, you will figure out the things that you absolutely love and you find some of the best products because you're not going to waste your money on things that you maybe would have before, those fad things that you see somebody has just come out with. No, you're not going to waste your money on that because you're going to have something like a cleaning supply for a long time. And the idea of wasting my time and effort buying something that I know is not going to work is not relatable for me anymore. And so it allows me to spend a whole lot less money and highly target what does come in my house. As I was finishing up organizing and taking out anything that I don't see myself using in the future, something wonderful about using the pan theory as you're decluttering is that it helps you to immediately identify things that don't belong in a certain area or things that you had really good intentions about, you no longer find a use for, and yet we're hanging on to those things, but are they really useful for my cleaning routine? No, I don't think they are. And so therefore they're not going to have a place or a home where my cleaning supplies are going to be. The pan theory helps us very quickly to identify those things that we can keep using over and over again, and those things that no longer are going to be bought and brought into my house. There was a small handful of things that went back out of my house, which is always awesome. But using the pan theory is not about getting rid of a ton of things all at once, but it's about thinking about decluttering and the things that we bring back into our house intentionally. Why do we need this item? Am I going to be able to use this item up for its full potential before I end up getting it back out of my house? If you can answer that as a yes, then you know that you're making a wise and smart purchase that's not going to end up annoying you down the road when you have to get it back out of your house. If you did the pan theory with me today in these 3 areas, then I hope you didn't feel rushed or pushed to get rid of anything, and you were able to take the time to ask yourself, am I going to be able to use this item? What is the usefulness of this item? And if the answer is yes, did I find a better home for this item so that I do remember I own it and I'm able to use it back up? All right, friends, if you have enjoyed this, which I certainly have, then continue your journey of minimalism and decluttering by watching a video right here. And I wish you guys all the very best.